Hello, hello! Thank you so much for signing up for this course. It's an honor to be your instructor. Now, before we get started, I want to give you a little bit of my background, and then I'm going to tell you how you can get the most out of this course that you just purchased. So, my name is Nick Walter. Like I said, I've been doing iOS development for about 5 years now, and I'm a self-taught developer, meaning I grew up on online tutorials, going to programming meetups, asking people questions, taking online courses, and the one thing that I always hated whenever I was learning is when someone sort of talked down to me, that they use these really big words that I didn't understand, and it was kind of like, well, I'm smarter than you. I just hated that feeling. So when I teach courses, I'm very laid back, casual. I'm going to give you the proper information, but I talk as if I'm teaching a friend. I want you to feel very comfortable as you're learning here, so be aware of that. So how can you get the most out of this course? I kind of have 3 big things for you. So the first one is I really want you to take ownership of your learning. So as I'm teaching stuff, and this is true especially in a lot of online courses, it's very easy to just follow me like a robot and like do everything that I do, right? Monkey see, monkey do. We want to avoid that. So as I'm teaching and you're working through something, think about what you're doing and take opportunities to do things a little bit differently. When we go into the podcast player, add your own podcasts instead of the ones that I'm adding. In the to-do list app after you finish it, maybe add an extra feature onto the end there. I don't know, but just kind of make things your own and make sure that you're not just completely blindly following me, because when you sort of venture out on your own, sort of rubber meets the road, that's where real learning takes place and you're going to grow the most. Okay, so tip number 2 is that as you're going through this course, if you ever have a question, please post a question on the lecture that you're having an issue with. I love coming through and answering questions. I try and do that on a daily basis. Also, other people in the class have been very nice in coming and answering other people's questions. So we're a very friendly community here. Please don't be afraid to post a question. Now, the last thing is, this is my full-time job. I love teaching. I put my heart and soul into this, so I would love to hear your feedback. When you get that little drop down from Udemy saying, hey, could you give this course a rating? I would love to hear from you and see what you think about it. So before we go ahead and dive into this course, I want to make sure you get to the right part of this course for you. So if you're an iOS developer, if you've had some iOS experience making apps, just go ahead and follow the rest of this course as is. Now, if you're someone that hasn't worked with iOS before, if you just have like no programming experience, I need you to skip to the section called iOS Blitz. There's going to be about 4 different sections there called iOS Blitz that are going to cover some topics in iOS programming. I want you to take that first, then come back and start the rest of the course all the way through, because I've structured these lectures for someone who has some iOS experience. So if you don't have any of that, or if you just want to brush up, first go to iOS Blitz, then come back and do this. But again, if you already have that experience, just go ahead and move on from here. Okay, so go to the appropriate place for you and enjoy the course.